Hello and welcome to Business Class, actually our first edition for the new year. Great to have you here with us. Ahead on the program, Qantas launches a new business loyalty program. The Langham Hotel lands in South Australia, and we'll discover the hottest travel trends of 2017, plus a destination guide to the driest place on earth, Chile's Atacama Desert. First, though, there continues to be widespread chaos and confusion at airports across the United States after U.S. President Donald Trump signed an executive order to suspend travel to the U.S. from 7 majority Muslim countries. For more on how this might affect travel, and plus more, we're joined by Bruce Piper, and he's from Travel Daily. Bruce, Happy New Year to you. Thanks for joining us. Let's begin with this Trump travel concern.
Yeah.
It's hard to get a handle as to what exactly is happening at airports in the U.S. I guess one question is, have we seen the flow-on impact for travelers in places such as Australia?
Well, definitely, and the issue is really that it's very tricky for airlines. If they board a passenger, fly them to the States, and then the passenger arrives and they're not granted entry, it's messy. They've got to get the passenger back to Australia. So they're very cautious, and it seems that the situation isn't really clear at the moment. There has been some, I think that Prime Minister Turnbull spoke to President Trump, and there is supposed to be some relaxation for Australians, but again, I think that everyone's sort of waiting to see if there's a bit of clarity to the guidelines.
And it's causing a lot of fear and uncertainty in the travel industry as well. There's actually been a survey conducted by the Association of Corporate Travel Executives. What did that find?
Well, as you'd expect, just the uncertainty that no one knows. Even if you have an Iranian background or from one of these 7 countries, you might be an Australian citizen. You might have even been born in Australia. You can't revoke citizenship of some of these places, and so all of a sudden there's uncertainty about whether you can get to where you need to for corporate travel. And so, of course, the travel managers, the guys who are running and organising the staff travel, they're having to play a very cautious game, because they don't want to get someone who's supposed to be going to a meeting or a conference or something like that and have them turn back at the border.
Because a lot of them are corporate travellers. They are a lot of scholars as well, working for U.S. companies. So does this have the potential to really put a dampener on the corporate travel market, you think, if the uncertainty continues?
I think if the uncertainty continues, absolutely. And in fact, there'll be, within companies, people are going to have to work out who is able to travel to the US and who isn't. At the moment, I think that there will be some clarity very quickly because of this giant disruption that's going on. But they have said it's 90 days, and I suspect it will be resolved much more quickly than that.
So Bruce, if you're an Australian corporate traveller or business traveller, where is the best place to go for information, latest information?
Look, probably the Smart Traveller DFAT website. They would be plugged in, I think, to the diplomatic channels. If anyone knows about it, they'll know about it first. The airlines also will be getting constant briefings, and so being in touch with the airlines and working out, when you're being ticketed, that's probably going to be the best.
All right, watch this space.
Yeah.
It's going to be a developing story. Now let's just switch focus a bit. Qantas launching its new business reward scheme. That's today, isn't it?
It is. It happened this morning. It was foreshadowed a couple of weeks ago, but this is an evolution of a system that they've had in place for a couple of years. Since about 2014, they launched this program called Acquire. Essentially, it's Qantas moving further to sort of take a stranglehold on the hearts and minds of Australia's corporate travelling public. And what they're doing is they've revamped the program. Previously, you had to earn a certain number of points flying for business before you were able to then redeem them into Qantas frequent flyer points. That's now changed, and so right from day one, if you're a corporate member of this program, your company earns points and you also earn points each time you travel.
And this is really aimed at small to medium-sized firms as well. Now, who are some of the partners that have come on board with this program?
So they've had a bunch of different suppliers, so it's not just, you don't just earn points from flying, you also can earn it through buying telecommunications or various products. But today they did announce that Caltex is a new partner, and also Jaguar Land Rover, and so perhaps you could even earn points for Acquire by buying a new car.
Okay, but you can't get it likely through purchasing fuel.
And fuel, absolutely.
Which of course goes against Virgin's partnership with BP. So that's an interesting one.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk about the Qantas to Beijing route. Now, these have started up a couple of days ago. Any early indications about how things are going?
Look, the airlines always say, oh, very strong load factors, and this is an interesting move. Qantas has tried flights to Beijing in the past and ended up having to pull out, and Shanghai was their only mainland China destination. Surely there's got to be enough traffic between Australia and China on Australian carrier. Unusually this time Qantas is marketing it in China very heavily as start your Australian holiday by as soon as you get on board.
Yeah.
And so targeting the inbound market quite strongly, whereas I think previously it had been much more focused on the outbound market to China. But again, talking about it is also partly a preemptive competitive response to Virgin. Virgin now has a couple of major Chinese airlines as shareholders, and they have applied for rights to fly to mainland China, Hong Kong, and they've said that they're going to start those new flights by the 30th of June. And so again, we're sort of watching this space, and so Qantas is thinking, well, we've got to get in there.
Yeah, but also, I mean, it makes sense for Qantas, for Australian Airlines, to really be targeting that Asian market. And I think Qantas is looking to target and grow that capacity on routes by about 7%.
Yes, Hong Kong is very busy. They're moving around aircraft, and I think that they've got 747s. They're putting on some flights to Hong Kong again.
And also Tokyo, they announced that Melbourne to Tokyo would be happening.
Yes, absolutely, yes. So Asia is a very strong focus for Qantas.
But also, I mean, multi-focus, of course. New York City continues to be a focus as well. We heard from Alan Joyce last week, talking about putting these direct flights potentially from New York City to Sydney. I mean, this would be a real game changer, you would have to think. Any sort of time frame of this.
This is all very airy-fairy. It's all about new aircraft technology. So we've seen in recent months Qantas has announced non-stops from Perth to London, and again that's being facilitated by new technology, Boeing 787s that have the range. Qantas and all the airlines in the world are now looking at the next generation of what they're going to order next, and these aircraft don't exist yet.
Yeah.
That is the plan is yes that they would be able to fly with a full load of passengers. Look, the aircraft have the range, but it's being able to take passengers and luggage and cargo, actually make money on the route. Definitely that would be an aspiration. And boy, if an aircraft does come out, the new 777s, I think they're called 77Xs from Boeing. Airbus also has new aircraft in the wings, to coin a phrase. If they have that sort of a range, boy, Sydney, New York will be one of all sorts of new possibilities that will appear.
Sign me up. I think it sounds a lot
easier. Well, yeah. It's a long time. Well, it's a long time to be sitting on a plane.
Certainly so. But these new planes, hopefully will be kinder, I guess, to your body and your psyche when you get to the other end.
For sure.
Let's talk about this new safety video that Qantas has released. In fact, we have a bit to show our viewers. Let's look at a highlight of that new safety video.
Welcome to Qantas in the spirit of Australia. Give us a few minutes of your time and you'll be looked after on your flight.
You need to evacuate. Leave all items behind.
Now is the time to make sure that all your bags are either in the overhead locker or under the seat in front of you.
When you're this high up, strapping in is a must. Fasten your seatbelt by turning the clasp to the buckle and tighten by pulling the strap. You can undo your seatbelt by lifting the flaps. Keep it done up low and tight during takeoff, landing, and whenever the seatbelt sign is on. And that includes infants and children. While seen it at other times, we recommend that you keep your seatbelt fastened.
So highlights from the new Qantas safety video, not quite as tongue-in-cheek as some of those safety videos from Air New Zealand, but certainly showing Australia at its best.
Yeah, so this is the second time that Qantas has done this, showcasing new destinations, and it becomes a tourism marketing video. It is interesting. I watched the whole thing earlier today, and it's 6 minutes 21. It's quite a long thing, and so I guess you want to keep people entertained. It certainly does show some lovely sides of Australia. It's a little calm for me. I prefer the quirky.
All right. Well, just quickly on Air New Zealand, opening a Perth lounge. When's that happening?
It's coming up that they are currently developing. It's part of the new Perth airport redevelopment, but it's also, interestingly, part of Air New Zealand has a very strong strategy to attract traffic from Perth and from other places going to North America. So they've got non-stops from Perth to Auckland, Auckland on to Buenos Aires, Los Angeles, San Francisco, Vancouver, and even Houston. And so they're saying to people, well, if you're going to go one stop, you know, if you were flying Qantas or American Airlines, you go Perth, Sydney, why not go Perth, Auckland? And so this lounge, which is the latest, you know, lounge concept that Air New Zealand have, they have it in Sydney already and in Auckland and in Los Angeles. It's a really nice lounge and quite a challenge, and I think it will be very appealing for corporate travel coming from the West over to the States.
Love to check it out, Air New Zealand, if you're listening. Let's go to hotel news just briefly.
Sure.
The Langham in Adelaide. So this, I guess just tell us about it.
Yeah, so this is interesting. So Langham is a brand that there's a Langham Sydney, Langham Perth, there's one in Auckland. This is a Langham Place, and so it's a slightly different model. It's in the suburb of the Adelaide suburb of Glenelg, and it's going to be a new build hotel on the side of an existing one. But interestingly, it's the debut of this Langham Place brand, which is sort of modern, as opposed to the classical luxury of the traditional Langham brand.
And it's replacing the Comfort Inns of perhaps a sign of the time.
Yeah, that's right.
Bruce, always a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us.
Pleasure.
Bruce Piper there from Travel Daily.